feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race.
Alright, so today we're going to go over aerial refueling. This is something that there's quite a few videos online about, and they're really helpful, but there's a couple small details that I feel like I've seen others come across many times, including myself. When I first started aerial refueling, I came across the same problems, and I don't feel like enough people address it, and so I was going to make a video on aerial refueling and just kind of cover those things real quick. So if you haven't watched my video on TACAN, you're going to need to watch that before you watch this so you can understand how to use the TACAN, because I'm about to use it to find where the tanker is. I don't know where the tanker is. So going to ILS, my TACAN for the tanker is 60 Yankee, and my COM UHF for it is 252.5. Alright, and I'm going to go down here and turn this to TACAN, and we're looking at this blue arrow right here. So it's off to my right a little bit. Let's turn to my right. And there we go. You should be seeing it out there. I can see it on my radar right there. I'm going to lock onto it. There it is. Alright, so next step. You don't need to do this. In the sim, they haven't really simulated some things in real life that you probably would do, like de-arming the jet. I'm pretty sure you would de-arm the jet before you hit the tanker. I don't know, I wasn't an F-16 pilot, but I'm assuming you would go master arm off and fence out. You would probably turn the radar off so you're not cooking the boom operator, and you'd probably power down the buckets, chaff and flare buckets. I don't know, but I would assume that would be, if you're going for realism, you'd probably do that before you hit the tanker. But in reality, in this sim, the tanker does not care. The AI will still fuel you even if you have it locked on and you're in air-to-air mode and your sidewinders are ready to go. I think it would still fuel you. Doesn't matter. But if you're going for realism, fence out, turn everything off before you hit the tanker. Next is to contact the tanker. So backslash from main menu, F6 for the tanker, F1.
1 in field 1 request rejoin.
And I'm not going to get a response. And this is the first issue. And I don't feel like a lot of people talk about this. They just say, oh, just contact the tanker. You need to make sure that you're contacting it right. So you usually use the main menu for everything in DCS, right? And you can see it says main, and you got the tanker, shell 11, that's correct. Problem is, this doesn't transmit on your UHF radio. So if you hit Alt and hold Alt down and then hit backslash, now it says UHF radio up here. You need to do that, and I think by default it's Alt backslash. You're gonna need to look up your settings for UHF. Once you have that enabled, now if I hit F6 and F1,
in field 1 request rejoin.
20,000 feet at 290 knots. So I'm doing 350. I'm closing pretty quick on them. Now I'm able to contact the tanker. If I use the regular backslash and contact the tanker that way, I am not going to get anything back, and the tanker will not drop its boom. I will not get fuel. So I have to use the UHF Alt backslash. Alright, so once you've done that, we're good to go, and we can go to the tanker. While we're headed there, we can go ahead and start setting up our HUD. We don't have to do this, but it's helpful for me because when I'm on the boom and I'm sitting there concentrating on keeping the jet steady and on, staying connected, and I keep losing connection and getting back into connection, how long am I supposed to be here? I'm just waiting for that transfer complete call from the tanker, and I go, whew, thank God, right? So a good way to know where you're at is go down here to the HUD configuration panel. This is all the stuff that you can add to your HUD or take away from the HUD. You can add the DED data. And the DED is this little panel right here, all this stuff. And you can see now, UHF, VHF, UHF, VHF is right here. So that's not helpful in of itself, but if I hit list and I go to my bingo page, this is where you set your bingo. I also get my total fuel. Now I know that I'm slick, I'm flying slick, no bags, so full is 7,100 pounds in an F-16. So I know when I get to 7,000 pounds on the boom, I'm getting pretty close. And with this set up, I can see it right on my HUD, which is nice because I'm trying to keep my eyes straight forward. Alright, we're getting close. When we get close enough, the tanker is going to acknowledge our presence by turning on its navigational lights, and the boom will drop. There it goes, starting to drop, and the lights are on. You want to watch your speed, you don't want to overtake it. Just take it easy, coming in nice and easy. So last step, I'm going to open up that aerial refueling door, and I'm looking for this ready light right here. Very good. So I'm ready to go. Now I need to call the tanker, let them know that I'm ready for pre-contact. So Alt / F1, and I'm going to get the wrong response from this location. It says return pre-contact. If I was the best pilot in the world and I was able to get that boom right into the receptacle on my own, it still wouldn't give me fuel because I didn't get ready pre-contact from the tanker. This is the way Eagle Dynamics designed this. It has to follow a script. So you need to get behind the tanker and get fairly close and then call pre-contact.
Ready, pre-contact. Cleared contact.
Now we get the clear contact and the boom will actually track us when we get close enough. So a little bit of pilot oscillation there, is my bad. We come in on the left, get that boom around on our right side so it doesn't scratch our canopy, and then move on in. Watch those indicator lights on the belly. I'm going to show you here my fingers. I am using fingertip. If you grip the stick, you will not get fuel. You need to use fingertips on either side. I'm using my thumb, index, and middle finger tips. That's it. And just small movements, and you can't see it, but I'm doing the same on my throttle. Small movements. And I'm checking that fuel quantity on my HUD. Just glancing down, but I'm using the tanker as my artificial horizon. The tanker will turn on its own without warning, so I just use it as my artificial horizon. If he starts to turn, I try to turn with it, try and keep nice and steady with it. But you can see I'm doing small movements. I'm not gripping it white-knuckled. If I do that, I will not get fuel. I'm going to move forward here. I'm getting too far back. There we go. So once I hear that contact, I'm taking a mental picture of the wings of the tanker and where the engines are in relation to my HUD and my screen. So I'm at 6,600 pounds. I'm getting close to my full. Oh, falling back here. There we go. 7,000 pounds, almost at 71.
Transfer complete.
There we are. Back to idle.
Disconnect.
Up to full mill. Until I get to 300, and then down to 25% throttle-ish, and move to the right wing.
Transfer complete. Disconnect.
And here's where I sit while the next guy takes his turn on the boom. So I hope that helps. Those of you who can't seem to get the tanker to respond to you, or you're having trouble connecting to the boom, like I said, fingertips, that's all you need. Small movements. You grab it like this, you're not going to make tiny, fine movements like this. It's just not going to happen. So, hope this helps.